Alright, this video is police brutality. And there was something about the police that has been bothering me for a while, that, and it's something that always kind of came across my mind, that I felt that they should do, that they don't do. And for, like last year, 2018, because we're in 2019 now, you know, all that shit, even years before that, you know, for the past couple of years, we were seeing a lot of police brutality where they're using excessive force. And I feel it's not necessary. And I feel that police not trained right. Because when you see that, there's no need to put somebody in the headlock, there's no need to slam somebody on the ground so hard to give them concussion. And, you know, a lot of this comes from because of racial profiling. And I don't feel it's necessary to sit there and have to slam somebody on the ground or do it as soon as you're doing, or you could to pull a gun on somebody because if that was a white person, a Caucasian person, and they was digging their pocket, you couldn't draw a gun. They'll put their hand on their gun, but they don't pull it out. But that's the black person, they'll immediately just pull it real quick, aim the gun at them, what's in, and they're so loud and aggressive. And because they already know they're going to say, oh, I felt a threat, I thought he had such and such. But you don't get a person, you don't give an African American person the time to pull it out, but you get a Caucasian time to pull it out. And that's that double standard in police brutality. And I'll touch more on that on another video as well. So it just bothers me because all that excessive force is unnecessary. When you were sitting there and you shooting people was unnecessary. Or he was running away. Or you walked away and you shooting people. Or you sitting there and killing a child. You know what I'm saying? And then when you cover up to defend yourself, it's like you want to portray this person as a bad person. You know what I'm saying? You want to try to find dirt on him to say, oh, he was bad. And almost as if to say, oh, he deserved it because he's such and such. And he probably paid for that crime. But yeah, a Caucasian person could go into consider a shoot a movie theater and you won't shoot him down. You know what I'm saying? You would negotiate with that person. But if that was the African American person who did that, you wouldn't negotiate, you would have shot him down. You know what I'm saying? And if the African American person was going around and it's not just killing people for no reason, shoot people, something there was a guy who did it. And the African American guy, he was just killing people for no reason. And the minute you found him, you're not going to sit here and try to negotiate with him. He was going around killing people for no reason. Well, it's no different at the movie theater. You was sitting killing people for no reason. Nobody did anything to him. When you find out where he is, when you find out where he is, you don't have to stand up with him. You bust right up in there and shoot him up. He could have had hostages. And you won't even care about the hostages, because especially the blood, you probably shot them up too. You know, and you go right in and they shot him right on up, didn't try to negotiate with him or anything. A person shoots up a hotel in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And you will talk that person down as well. You know what I'm saying? I think there's more than one guy. I think one of them, I think the person actually did shoot in Vegas, he did die. Because when the questions were, they wanted to know his monster thing, like why would he do that? And the brother got a lot of flack because they wanted the brother to do over there like that. But I think he did end up dying only because he refused. And so, but what if he, because he didn't refuse. But the thing about it is, they sit there and try to talk him down. They didn't sit there. You should have a hotel. There are kids at that hotel. Okay, just the adults at hotels. There's adults at hotels. It's not just adults. There's adults, there's teenagers. There's babies. There's toddlers. You know, just like at the movie theater. You know what I'm saying? But you sit there and you talk to, you know, a person out of, you know, you all negotiate with him. But at the hotel, I think they tried to negotiate with him. He probably, and I believe, you know, and it could be that he probably did not shoot, he was still shooting. They couldn't really, so they had to shoot him down there like that. But however, I had to take a situation like that where somebody was shooting and it was still going, and you feel like the only way to stop the gunshot was to kill that person. But if you come in there and he's not shooting anymore, oh well, he's not shooting, but he's armed. You know what I'm saying? That Caucasian person was actually armed with a weapon, and you would shoot him up. But yet you would sit there and shoot up a black man who doesn't have no weapons. So that's police brutality, because you're abusing your power, you're killing innocent people, and then using excessive force. And one of my things that bottom was training. I feel that a lot of times they'll sit there, and because of their lack of training, because to me I feel that police officers are trained to kill people, especially and particularly African Americans and African American males. Because if somebody is autism or somebody's deaf, when somebody's deaf, they use sign language. If somebody has autism, you can't talk to somebody who has autism like you do a regular person. But they don't have the training in that. And a lot of the police academy also going to do that. Well, all the things you're going to come across, you're going to come across somebody that's suicidal, because you still coming at them as if they're a threat. They're suicidal and they actually want to jump. You know what I'm saying? They want to kill. So they're not even aiming the gun at you. They want to kill themselves. But they want to jump, but you want to grab them up and oh, he's resisting them. No, he has a mental problem. And they're not trained to deal with people who have mental problems. They're not trained to deal with somebody who's deaf. They're trained to deal with somebody who has autism. So a lot of parents, a lot of African American parents are afraid for the children. They fear for their children. Particularly, they fear for their black sons, their African American sons, because the daughters don't have much of a threat. But I do feel in the future, I thought the daughters would be a threat. Because with Sandra Bland, that was unnecessary. Because when I saw the video of her being pulled over, the cop actually turned all the way around, and when he turned around, came out, he had to make a right to get back to the road. By then, she was already down, all because she didn't signal or something. But if you turn all the way around and go get somebody that's already halfway down the street, that was clearly an attack. That was clearly a target. Because you knew, okay, she was going the opposite direction to you. That was clearly a target to go after her. Then you pull her over, and you knew you was pulling her over, it was petty. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you want to say, oh, she was aggressive because she asked you a question. She's asking you, mom, of being pulled over, and then the minute you sit there and accuse her of being aggressive, how you expect her to respond? So it's almost like, you know what I'm saying? In that situation, I felt that they killed her in that jail cell and tried to make it seem like, I think when she hit her head, because they slammed her to the ground, she hit her head, she probably had concussion, they didn't get the medical help that she needed. And then they'll tell me what's happened there, and then she died. And then they killed her. But it saddens me that a lot of parents have to teach their children how to be. You know what I'm saying? The children are being taught when really the police officers need to be taught. Sometimes, depending on the situation, it's good for them to listen, because a lot of police officers do not listen. But the point I was going to make was, a lot of parents are teaching their kids, especially their sons, okay, when a police officer pulls you over, this is what you do. You don't say, you don't reach for anything to the table. When they say, whatever they ask you to do, you cooperate. They say, you raise it, when they tell them that, it's like, always put your hands up, have your hands up in the air, and then make sure you don't have anything on you. Cell phone, nothing. Make sure that yourself, like if you're in your car, if you're walking, even if your cell phone's on, do not reach for your cell phone. The parents that teach your kids, don't reach for your cell phone, just have your hands up, let them search you. Lift your hands up. If they ask you to reach in your pocket for your wallet, move slowly so they can see that you pull from, and then tell them, hey, this is my wallet. Drop it to the ground. I'm pulling my wallet, it's okay if I drop it to the ground and kick it towards you. And you know what I'm saying? And it's sad that parents have to teach their kids, and really their kids are not the one that are not the problem, they don't need to be taught. It is the police officers that need to be taught and trained. And another thing, as I was saying about the listening, is very important. Like, depending on the situation, you might want to listen, because people are trying to tell you something. You know, so a person might have a mental problem, a person might be autistic, or they might be deaf, and in sign language, you're taking the sign language to thinking, oh, he's throwing up gang signs at me. Even if somebody was throwing up gang signs, somebody throwing up gang signs to you, it's not a threat because they're not hitting you. They're not touching you, they didn't throw anything at you, and they didn't hit you. So this right here is not a threat. Okay, sometimes it's very important to listen because you don't know that person, and somebody might know that person better than you. And that's why there's so much controversy and why people are so upset and angry, because the police officers won't listen because they're told, oh, you can't listen to them. Because you're treating everybody as a criminal. And they feel because that person's a criminal, you know what I'm saying, you're not worth me to listen to because you're lying. Because they're trained that criminals, when criminals speak their lines, so don't listen to them, don't let them talk, because they're trying to manipulate you. Everything out of mouth is a lie. That's not how you train somebody, teach somebody. Yes, their study is just as important, but if it's not necessary for them to be rough with them, don't do it. Sometimes, and that's why a lot of lawsuits are happening, because you will not listen. People are screaming, telling you, and you're telling your police officers don't listen to them. So now you sat there and wrongfully attack somebody that was necessary. When a person has a mental problem, you don't attack them in that way, and stuff. So. Yeah, and that's the one that really upset me about police brutality, is that the police officers are not being taught right. But all this stuff going on, how many people, and yet people still doing things the same. Those people are still on the force, they're still out there patrolling and not after death. They're not being retrained. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's really fighting for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's another challenge, I'm going to put out there, fight for that police officers get new training. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're going out there, new circumstances are arising, so that's be trained for that new circumstance. And not being trained, instead they're being trained to deal with somebody as if like they're a hostile person or a real bad criminal, and everybody you run into is not a hostile criminal. So challenge the system. Say, hey, we need to change it. You know what I'm saying? Your police officers need to know how to handle, people better. They need to learn, they need to know how to handle a mental person better, or somebody with autism, or somebody that's deaf, or somebody that's blind, somebody that can't talk. Then you know how to handle them better. Not thinking that because if you run across somebody that's deaf and they can't hear you and you walking behind them, you're gonna sit there and say they refuse, they resisted arrest, but the person deaf they can't hear. Instead of assuming, well, if they're deaf, you should quit wanting to say they're resisting arrest because they're so hell bent on going by that book, and do everything about the book that they don't want to waver. Like cops when they are in that, when they're at that place or whatever, or at the scene, they don't use their common sense. Sometimes the situation, it's okay at your job. You know what I'm saying? You got all that training, all that skills, but common sense is still necessary and it's okay to use it at your job because sometimes common sense will save your behind. Okay? And a lot of people, a lot of customers are using their common sense because sometimes like, okay, the common sense will say, and such that person, there's no window with that person, that's just common sense. You know what I'm saying? But they don't use their common sense because their thing is they're all about the evidence, going by the book. They don't want to use their common sense. Because I'm pretty sure somewhere something in them says, you know, I think this person, because there are good cops out there. But a lot of times when there's a bad cop out there, a lot of times the bad cops will surround themselves around a whole bunch of other bad cops. Because they don't want that good conscious person. Because if that good conscious person is there, more than likely they're going to be their whistleblower, they're going to snitch on them. You know what I'm saying? So that's how cops are doing a lot of stuff because you don't have that one good person anymore like it used to be. And stuff like that. So, but like I said, do that challenge. And be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, you guys need to train your police. And people have said, I heard people have mentioned, hey, you need to train them and how to do somebody that's autistic and all, because you're not going to deal with saying stuff every day. There's a domestic violence incident or something you had to come, or you're going to sit there and shoot the black dude. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't kill him with your guns and shoot people. It's domestic violence. He's hitting her, but by the time you get there, what's he hitting her? They're screaming, yelling, cussing at each other. There's no reason for you to draw a gun and shoot the person up, you know? And it's just really upsetting, you know what I'm saying? And it has to change. So the challenge is out there. I love you all. Good night. God bless.